Well, alrighty, here's a brief explanation of socialism and communism. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, first we have to explain owning the means of production. Whenever work is done, whenever something is produced, whenever a service is provided, someone owns that service. Someone owns the McDonald's where you get your food. Someone owns the office building where people are working in cubicles. Someone owns the land these buildings are on. And someone also owns the labor, like a boss who gets to state how people work and who ends up making money off of the people working, so on and so forth. The boss makes the rules. Socialism and communism are political theories about who should own those means of production. Socialism states that those means of production should be owned by society. And that's about where things break down because there are a million different kinds of socialism. And the only real common thread is that the means of production are owned by society. What does that mean? Well, it could mean that the means of production are owned by the government. It could mean that the means of production are owned by worker collectives. There's market socialism, which ties society-owned means of labor to profit motive. There's libertarian socialism, which actually pushes against market regulation. There's different types of anarchism, which says that you can't trust a market or the state to decentralize the means of production. Like I said, there is literally a million different flavors of socialism, and most of them do not agree with each other. The only common ground is that the means of production are owned socially. So in our current state of capitalism, private owners own the building and the lands and the products, and they're the bosses. Under socialism, the person who would own all that would be someone else. In the best case scenario, it would be the workers. The workers own the building, the workers own the products, the workers own the labor, the workers are their own bosses. But again, a million different types of socialism say maybe it should be owned by the government, maybe it should be owned by different collectives, maybe there's a step-down process of private collectives, so on and so forth. Communism is a theory that states as long as there is social classes, they will try to take advantage of each other. An upper class will always take advantage of a lower class. And so the best possible world is one in which there's no classes. And the only way to achieve that is to create a world in which there is no money. And the only way to achieve that is if everyone owned everything. And if everyone owned everything, then we wouldn't have a state. Again, there are a million different types of competing ideologies on how to implement this, but the end goal is everyone works in a way that they're best suited to and everyone's needs are met. I am simplifying a lot for both socialism and communism here. Political theory guys, don't jump down my throat. Now, historically, most governments that called themselves communist or socialist weren't. They were at best capitalist and at worst pretty much dictatorships. And for that matter, most of what we call capitalism isn't really capitalism. It's kind of crossed the border into plutocracy at this point. Plutocracies are societies that are ruled and governed by the wealthy, but that's an entirely other video.